Welcome, Marvel Future Fight fans. I thought it might be a good idea to go back to some of the basics. So if you're a veteran player, you probably already know what this is. However, some of you who are brand new to Marvel Future Fight, or maybe you just haven't been playing that long, might have heard the term PROC, but have no idea what we're all talking about when we say it. PROC is actually short for Programmed Random Occurrence. Now, when we say PROC, we are specifically referring to using some sort of custom gear. Typically, it's going to be a CTP, or it could be an obelisk. And that's where this programmed occurrence, or PROC for short, is activating, means you're getting the benefits of a particular custom gear. So let's go over some of those custom gears. Let's talk about what's happening in the game and what you can look out for, and point out something that, again, if you're a brand new player, you're not aware of, and that's the fact that you can hold your finger over the PROC to find out which one's which, because you can have more than one PROC. This is especially true for reforged CTPs, as well as support CTPs like Insight. So in this particular game mode here, we're talking about Alliance Battle. This is Alliance Battle Extreme. I'm in training mode, so I really don't care about scoring. At the top of the screen, you'll see there are three different icons that look like they're vests. These are the three PROC areas. They will turn green and start counting down when they are activated. So to find out which one's which, you hold your finger over it and it tells you. So in this case, you have this, increased basic damage dealt to supervillains, blah, blah, blah. This is for all allies. This is a custom gear. This is that Insight PROC that'll occur. These two over here are the rage ones because this character has rage. This is your main rage PROC. And then by reforging it, because I have a brilliant rage on this character, you have this additional one, which is enraged. Now, the way that these PROCs are fired off is a combination of critical rate and how much damage you're doing and how long they've been on cooldown for and how long they last for. Most of these PROCs on average are going to last about 6 seconds or so. Again, it is going to show you a countdown timer. Now, the different types of PROCs, there are some that are single skill PROCs, meaning whatever skill is being used after the PROC begins is the only one getting the amplification, where other ones, such as Rage, which is in this example, all skills while the PROC is going on are going to get the enhancements from it. So each of the PROCs act slightly differently. I'm not 100% sure on how the reforged PROCs work, such as the Enraged on Rage or the Insight. I don't know if it's locked to one skill. I don't believe it is. I believe all of those extra PROCs kind of happen all the time. But let me go ahead and hit try again. And I will run a little bit, point it out in the top left corner what you're looking for. So your main skill PROC is usually what people are talking about, making sure you PROC on the right skill. This is why using rotations are important, because there's two things that are going to happen here. First of all, you're going to do maximum amount of damage because you're PROCing on the proper skills to get that extra damage on those needed skills. But also, you're making sure you don't PROC early. You might hear people say, oh, don't PROC early, because when you do get to the main skill that you do want to amplify, your PROC's gone or on cooldown, or it's coming off. You're missing out on damage. That's why this is such a critical and important skill, especially for new players, which is why we're talking about it today. So, top left corner. So I'm going to start doing some stuff here. Oh, look at that. All the PROCs are going on. As you can see, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This one over here, which is the Enraged, you saw it was like closer to 8 seconds, but these two over here were both about 6 seconds. So I'm going to move around for a little bit because you can't instantly PROC right away. And then I'm waiting, and then boom, I do another rotation. Look, now all the PROCs are fired off and they start counting down again. So trying to get those PROCs together and on the right skills is critical for dealing as much damage as possible. This is very important for AB, but just even against World Boss Legendaries and stuff, if you want to clear them quick enough, if you're not PROCing properly, it is going to hurt you. Let's take a little bit closer look at some of the PROCs on some of the abilities, and we'll wrap up this video. This will be a nice short one. So this was helpful. You're a new player. Now you know what PROCing is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and exit. I did turn up the graphics for this video because I've noticed a trend that the graphics in a lot of my videos are kind of low, and I've been turning down the graphics so that I'm not having the animation cause some lag on the emulator I'm using. So again, PROC, Programmed Random Occurrence. And let me just give you a few here. So in this case, we were showing Doctor Strange, my favorite character, of course, brilliant. So Enraged is one of the PROCs, which is up here. Usually you'll see them down here at the bottom. You're going to have this thing, it says, let's see. So increase 1% basic damage per 1% of dodge rate and critical rate, regardless, right? And this is like, it's got like a 5 seconds guaranteed. That's the critical rate right there. So you have like a certain amount that it's going to work for, and then it kind of goes away. Brilliance, brilliance, brilliance. So here's a normal rage. You have like 0.9% per 1%. So again, with rages, it's multiple skills. If you get something like an energy here, you have the beatdown. This is charged up by running around. You'll have a bar below their hit points that has to fully charge in order for it to kick off. So a lot of people run around with energy characters. This only activates for a single skill. So increase basic damage by 200% for one attack, and there's a 5-second cooldown. So there's 5 seconds before you can trigger the proc again. So you run around and you build up your beatdown. Now, beatdown's a little tricky. When it comes to energy, if you're already moving and it's not ready for cooldown to charge up your beatdown, it will not charge that bar at all. So sometimes you have to stop and then move, stop and then move until you see that bottom bar starting to build up. Little quick tip for you there. So if you don't see your bar filling up, it's because sometimes you have to break your running after the cooldown and then continue to do it. And then I'll pull up, so here's an authority. Authority doesn't have proccing. That's why you won't see the shield, or I'm sorry, the vest icon in the top left-hand corner. And then other ones, like I said, it just depends on what they are. Everyone's different. There is going to be obelisks as well. I'm going to kind of fast run through these so I can get to hopefully a proc obelisk. Yeah, this one here is a single skill for 180%. So obelisks do have it as well. Exact same icon. And then you have here's really quick. Here's the judgment. So there's all elemental damage by 200% for 5 seconds. There's also these ones that are, I call them anger procs. Here, found one just as I said it. So increase basic damage 1% per 1% of dodge rate. It's like the rage, but it's on either dodge or crit that it's going to enhance on, and it's not as effective. It's some people call them baby rages. I call them anger procs. You can call them whatever you want. Then I wanted to at least show one more thing, which was the insight, and I'm probably going to find that a little bit quicker by doing this way. Find one of my support characters that I know have an insight on, like Coulson or something like that. Or Angela, or actually Taskmaster has one. Here we go. First one I saw. So this over here again, so you have these increase basic by 20% by 5%, 5-second cooldown. So again, this is that other vest that you see at the top of the screen. So knowing where they are, knowing which one to look out for. Like I said, the main proc is more important than the enhanced proc because that's the one that's usually more finicky. Now you want to line them all up if you can. If you can get them all proccing at the same time, that's the best because you're going to amplify the damage on the skills you want. But just be aware that there is going to be a little bit of variance, and as long as you focus on the main skill, you can kind of fiddle with the other ones in time. So again, hopefully that was useful. I don't think I'm leaving anything out. I think that pretty much covers everything I wanted to cover with proccing today, including some examples and some different skills that you might see the proccing stuff for. So anyway, happy Marvel Future Fighting, and I'll catch you in the next one.